we'll go ahead and get started. District 2, Mr. Tech said he can't be here, so we can go ahead and get started. Ask everybody to stand. Unless you have a word.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and thank you for the people who are here. We ask that you would bless the people who are here and bless the people of Martin County. Help us to do the right thing. Go with us and guide us. We ask in your name.
What's your pleasure on the minutes of the last court meeting? Motion was second. Before we move on, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor? Yes. Before we move on, I want you to make an announcement. There'll be no public comment tonight unless you're on the agenda. Hard in the road foreman, guys. What's your pleasure?
Make a motion for Mark Titus Marshall.
I'll recommend Titus, and you make the motion. Second. All in favor?
Yes.
Now let me ask you about, before we go on, is that would be for the remainder of Joanne's term?
Yes.
Okay. So that will be basically, I think it's January the 6th.
Whenever the expiration of this term is.
Everybody vote? Yes. Conservation, soil conservation district budget. Tom?
Thank you. Below is a list of Martin County Conservation District things that we do for Martin County, mostly in the students, our office, our executive, our salaries and bills, rain barrels. We have rain barrels. We educate students about water recycling and conservation by using rain barrels. And students in the art and writing contest, the Beta Club will be painting barrels. Art and writing contest breakfast. We provide a breakfast for the superintendent and principals. And all food is donated and prepared by the supervisors. We educate the principals about the benefits of art and writing contest, the fire-thon, and other student involvement projects. Art and writing contest award banquet. We just had the award banquet, and we had about 85 people there. We present trophies, plaques, and certificates and medals to the winning students. We have prepared food. Present awards to teachers and winning students, and schools that have 100% participation, we award them. Conservation and science programs for the 4-H students. Programs for the county's 4th graders, involve other county agencies such as Fish and Wildlife, Forestry, the 4-H and UK Extension Office, and Marine Discovery, beekeepers, and fire department. And we have the kids in, the 4th graders in, and we keep them pretty well all day. And the students will be conducting hands-on experiments. And they will be exposed to agriculture, technology, personnel, and social perspective, agriculture, and conservation. That's been real successful the years that we've done that. Students really like it. Also, the students will have practical science experiences before they test it. We try to plan that before the testing. Provide conservation education to adults and children within our community. We have Earth Day. Take one day a week at each school, do activity books, recycling. And one of the activities of it, recycling with Rocky the raccoon. Planting trees and seeds and discuss with students Earth Day, what it means, the importance of learning how to conserve our natural resources. Participate in a program with UK Extension Office in Kentucky Farm Bureau. Career Day at Shaw Clark High School, we participate in that. Participated in Kiwanis Fun Day at the park. Talk to kids about life cycles of trees and let them decorate tree cookies. Heritage Day at the schools. And participate in October Festival where we give out information about the programs that we have. We also offer a Master Conservation Award. Landowners program provide landowners with programs and information available to improve their properties. Programs that were presented, forestry, pollinators, agriculture, reforestation, obtaining eligibility, agricultural water quality, and NRCS seating program. That was a real successful program. We had several people from here and also from other counties. Seeding program, provide landowners various types of tree seedings to plant on their property, winter wheat and rye cover crops. We provide those as far as we can. Wildlife seeding, we also provide wildlife seeding to help feed the wildlife. Promote soil stewardship week and by distributing activity books, bookmarkers, and pencils to our students. Conservation District supervisors have donated unlimited hours at maintaining the Kingfisher walking trail. The trail provided adults and children alike with an excellent place to exercise and just relax and commune with nature. Conservation District maintains a good working relationship with the Natural Resource Conservation Service, which is NRCS. It's our goal, the Conservation District's goal, to maintain these working relationships with other agencies so that Martin County can obtain assistance that they require. Access to the Natural Resource Conservation Service program is greatly enhanced by the local conservation office to serve as the first point of contact for local landowners. Provide state cost share information for local landowners. We have one we're working up now for state cost shares, and we're going to do some work on the property, and they will take care of that if they get everything in order. And Penny's working with them on that, and we're real proud of having, I think, our first one. We are the contact agents for landowners who want to improve their timber stand, wildlife habitat, improve and restore wetlands, and to improve better soil and conservation methods. We are the contact agents for watershed recreation and care to get assistance in removing trees from streams and restoring slips in roads and affects the waterways. And we work with CRS to get that done. We are also a contact agent for major storms such as tornadoes, flooding, and others. We work through NRCS. If you'd like any further information, require assistance, please don't hesitate to stop in at our office. Thank you.
Do you get any county funding?
Yes. Yeah, county funds us. And also from the direct aid from the state.
The only problem that we have is our cash flow is way down, and we usually give y'all 22.5, that was last year.
Yes.
And the year before. We'll try to keep it at that level if I like possible. Did you need this vote?
We need it first, yes.
Motion to approve. Motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. County co-op agreement, guys. This is the county road agreement that we've done for 21 years, I know what. The resolution we have to read, you all understand. PJ, I know you don't understand, so this is where we get the money for the road fund. And I've done, my horse has done 21 years, and for 4 years out of that, they've done 4 years, so. Biggest part of the county to do this, and I'm going to read this resolution. Fiscal Court of Martin County resolution adopting and approving the execution of county road aid program contract between the Fiscal Court and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. The Department of Rural Municipal Aid for the Fiscal Court beginning 2000, that's a typo, July the 1st, 2018, as provided in the Kentucky Revised Statute and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being a part of the county road system. Be it resolved by the Fiscal Court, the Fiscal Court does hereby accept all roads and streets referred to in said contract as being part of the county road system, and the Fiscal Court does hereby ratify and adopt all statements, representation, warranties, conveyance, agreements contained in the said contract, and do hereby accept said contract, and by such acceptance agree to all terms and conditions therein. The county judge of the county is hereby authorized and directed to sign a contract as set forth on behalf of the Fiscal Court of Martin County. And the county court clerk of Martin County is hereby authorized and directed to certify thereto. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Pass it around, sign where it says. Next thing you see is applicant agent, guys. That is, we got declared, I can't remember which storm it was, but we did get a, we declared a state of emergency, the state did, and our county was one of the 34 counties, I believe it was. And then the federal declared also. And I'd like to recommend as Lee Galls as the applicant agent for the federal government.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? This is several projects. One we're going to try to get up in Kenny District. You know, the Crum Branch where we had to spend all that money there, that we can get some of our money back on that.
You'll need to read the resolution for that,
Oh, I'm sorry.
just because it is a resolution.
Will you want to go ahead and read?
Sure. Be it resolved by the Martin County Fiscal Court, Martin County, that Kelly Callahan, County Judge Executive, is authorized to execute for and on behalf of the Martin County Fiscal Court, a public entity established under the laws of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. This application and to file it in the appropriate state office for the purpose of obtaining federal financial assistance under the Disaster Relief Act, Public Law 288, 93rd Congress, or otherwise available from the President's Disaster Relief Fund. That the Martin County Fiscal Court, a public entity established under the laws of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, hereby authorizes its agent to provide to the state and to the Federal Emergency Management Agency for all matters pertaining to such federal disaster assistance, the assurance and agreements printed on the reverse side here, passed and approved today, and as I understand, Lee Galls will be that person.
Motion.
Same old buddy system.
Jackie, quit. You here? What do you need, sir?
I need my road took out of county plan.
That ain't a problem.
That's
not a problem.
okay.
There's certain steps, Lynette can explain the steps that we have, the hoops that we have to jump through, but she can explain the steps to you. We'll go through the process.
You'll need to
Be glad to take it out.
I'm sorry, if it meets criteria. You just need to go downstairs to the mapping department and fill out a form, and we'll look at it. We have to post, and then the road foreman and some disinterested people have to look at it, report back, and see if there's a public use. You just meet the criteria, and then we promise we'll look at it. But if you can do that, you may have already started the paperwork downstairs. If you've not, go ahead and start it, and we'll definitely get on that. Okay?
Hey, Jackie, how many properties are on the road? How many people live on it?
I own it.
But how many people live on that road?
Just me up in it.
Okay, that's fine. We'll be
Nobody, most of them down next to the road.
Okay, not a problem. Thanks.
Yep.
The next thing you see, guys, is tourism board appointment, that is a misprint. Victor, you want to explain?
Well, actually, it's supposed to be two separate items, special one project and Martin County Tourism Board appointments. And they kind of got joined together, so we table that, take care of it next fiscal meeting.
Amendment to the policies and procedures of the 911. Do you know about this?
Yeah, I've already given Masters a copy of Candace and already looked over and approved it.
What is the changes?
There's several changes and updates. It adds, like add features to the fire department and does some more updates as recommended by the KSP.
So, is the highlights,
The highlighted portions.
are they highlighted, what we need to change?
Yeah, I've already given Masters. They've had copies for about a week now. Yeah.
I believe it's in the file also, it's in my file.
Yeah, they're in the file too.
Did I see it?
You got it.
I see it. It's like page 11 is highlighted. The changes are pretty clear. Mostly it's page 11, page 24, 15, 16.
Ken? Well, I have a problem with some of this stuff now. Some of this stuff is not, number 9, vacation at least 30 days in advance. I do know that we really don't make our employees abide by that, but our administrative code say schedule in the month of January. I mean, I don't know if this can this counter claim our administrative code or?
If it conflicts with the administrative code, I don't think the administrative code would control the county employees.
Okay. No call, no show. Any dispatcher who reports to work without calling to report an absence and cannot show just call for the absence, as determined by the 911 coordinator, will be terminated immediately. I don't know of anybody in the county that works here that can terminate anybody unless it's a recommendation from me and the vote about this before. Is that not true?
Unless they serve at will. But I wouldn't think this would be an at-will position.
So,
Like the road foreman at will, the assistants, secretaries.
but doesn't termination have to come to me, come to court, and be voted on? So, I don't know quite how. So that's on page 10, that's the first 2 additions I see that we can't do, right?
That's right. This may be something you want to table, anyone who want to go through.
You've already put, you'll spend less time on your own.
Well, let me read this here. Yeah, it looks like it's going to need to be tabled. Because the first 2 that I read contradicts not only our administrative code, but the IRS and tax determination. Motion table. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
The next one is amend the FAR fee ordinance. What's that about on that?
Pigeon Roost is now a volunteer fire department in the area, whereas Warfield is covering part of it. And the fire fees are apportioned based upon that. And they're asking now that instead of Warfield receiving 2 parts for covering Warfield and Pigeon Roost, Warfield would receive 1 part and Pigeon Roost would receive another part.
What's your pleasure on that, guys? Second? Second. All in favor?
Yes.
Softball field, Regina. Could you step up and explain what's going on with softball field?
You all may remember that when we were talking about doing the environmental process and the planning process for the softball field, we thought it was best if we only deed-restricted the field that we're constructing, that part of the park. And that deed restriction, you looked at the deed restriction, we talked about it that night, it has a lot of components to it. One of the concerns that we had was the
signage,
Yeah.
and that, you know, the leagues use the signage to raise money for the leagues. However, if we do take the federal funding for this, we cannot have signage on any around the park. And as I understand, Regina, they were hoping to limit it to just the softball field between the two, you know, Little League and baseball field. But based upon her correspondence with federal agencies and the people who would be ultimately giving money, they were not amenable to any kind of, to limiting to just that part, but to the whole property, which in that deed, it's a significant portion of property. It includes the old the dump or the commercial dump, as well as the sign, you know, and the 2 other parts would be included as well. So that's something that you're going to have to seriously think about. I didn't see a prior use exception that said that if it's already there, you can leave it. So, I mean, that's something that's arguable, that we can still keep everything there. Trash dump.
What she's explaining is where the trash transfer station is in our storage lot behind there, might possibly have to go away if we accept this money.
I've made it known to them that that's part of the property, the deed to the property, the park, you know, it's all in one deed. That's one of the reasons we wanted to separate and do just the deed restriction on the area where we're going to construct the new field. And I shared the correspondence with you, and she just did not seem amenable to the approval of that.
There is in, I believe, section 2, number H, and I apologize for not giving you the easement or deed restrictions. You would have gotten it 2 months ago whenever we had that. But it says that the owner can't place trash, waste, or ashes on the recreation, point of POR, something recreation project. And that's how, I think what they envision is, you know, just, you know, junky stuff there that, you know, people discard. I don't think they
Well, that's what's there now, I think.
But there's, I mean, we could ask for a prior use exception. We could prepare something that just prepare a separate deed, you know, just the recreation area, and try to send that if that would be okay. But she didn't seem terribly excited to even do that. It seemed like the deed was the deed was the deed.
I gave her the correspondence between me and the agency and let her read the entire thing. And I kept asking it several different ways and offered several different options, and it didn't seem that.
Was there any way they could come in and view the site?
I think that Department of Interior, they're undergoing some significant changes themselves. So I think that's probably part of it, that we could ask them to come and look. I don't think we have, if we don't do this, we're not going to get a softball field. I don't know if there's any other place in the county that we could put a softball field. We could start out with, you know, a smaller chunk of property. But I don't think there's any harm in asking them to come and look at it, or if we prepare a deed that the sections off from the transfer station or that, you know, of just coming down this way from that old property.
There, you're not going to help me with this, but it seemed like years ago, maybe your first term, did they not buy where the transfer station is?
I think they own the county barn there, where the barn used to sit.
Yeah. So that would be the section that we're talking about.
You might have another. Might have something.
Huh?
There might be another deed to that barn.
That's what I think. It seems like they bought.
See, for a long time, we didn't have any room out that way. They wanted to transfer station in. Then they opened up the whole area.
Did you know who they bought that from? Would it have been a Maynard? Echo Maynard's family?
No, never came to live up the creek, but I'm not sure. I really, they might have bought it before that. See, I know the road there was close. Then when actually put transfer station in, you know, the whole thing.
So if that would be the case, the rest of it would be on one deed and it wouldn't even be a part.
The deed that we're looking at was the deed from the Gobles in the 70s. That's the one where it is right now.
But I
But
just,
you're talking about a
I
70s.
just believe that, like Darrell said, past the county farm, it's actually where the transfer station sits down. That strip of property from the road to the back side of the creek was purchased later after that.
This here was going to the Echo Minor line, and then we're going across it.
But,
It's a right of way.
I'm thinking they bought it off Echo.
They might have walked this property.
That'd be a separate tract of property than what we're talking about.
So it would be Martin County Fiscal Court, Echo Minor.
He'd be the grantor to the fiscal court.
This here was bought in '68. She said 75, well, still, yeah, that would have been 15 years before I became mayor.
Well, you're old.
I'm getting old. I don't know, you check, I don't know, check into it.
So Gina, if we find another deed that they bought later on, I'm thinking middle 80s, that they might have bought for the transfer station in, and that probably most likely would have been Echo Manor's property. But they are a little small lot there right by it, I believe Charlie Mills owns. But if there is another deed that he,
I own that.
oh, I'm sorry. Did you buy off Echo Manor?
His son,
Oh, it's Stanley.
Danny,
Danny,
yeah,
okay.
that was Echo put that property up, and, you know, that was Danny's portion.
Do you know where the trash transfer station is?
Do I know where it's at?
Yeah, but do you know that the Echo family owns that?
It's a possibility that they did, but actually, I would not thinking back, I don't think they did own it. I think that come with a farm that Will Gobles' wife owned at one time, and the county bought the property off her, Rosemary.
So that would be Thomas Goble. So that would mean that where the ball fields is, that is all one tract of property all the way through there then, right?
From the drain over, I would assume. I think that's where it's at.
That don't help as much, does it?
Huh?
That don't help as much.
See, when I became master at 90, all the contractors were over there.
Well, that was a good thought. So, we'll check anyway and see,
Okay.
but Dave's probably right.
Um,
Okay.
So what about contacting them different anyway?
Perhaps Lynette could prepare a letter to the commissioner, Duncan, of BLG, and say, okay, we'll do the park, but we need to exclude the trash dump. We let us do a separate deed for the park, which would include the other fields, the 3 fields. And she did make a comment in one of our emails that when I said about the signage, she said they weren't going to enforce that. But you saw it in the email.
Yeah,
But
I
it's in
can't
the deed
recommend,
restriction.
yeah, that you break a deed restriction.
And it may be that we could even ask them to remove that from the deed restriction, because you are allowed to amend your deed restriction if you need to, you just have to let their attorney review it.
So, the other deed restriction is something we can live with?
Well, it would be the 3 fields, if you're going with that. That would have to be your choice. I don't think they're gonna let us limit to 1 field, but we might have a chance of excluding the trash dump, is that what y'all call it?
That's a transfer.
Transfer facility, okay. I'm not familiar with it, and perhaps we could get them to exclude that, because I don't think they would want it. It's not recreational, you know, and see if that's something that they would accept.
So let me ask you guys, worst case scenario, so we can't get it done. What would be your pleasure? How much is that easy, Pete?
What if, I can do a letter and I can report back, first of July or the beginning of June at a regular
We
meeting.
have
She's trying to pull the funds. Yeah. I keep corresponding with her in hopes that she doesn't. I had actually had another project in another county and she pulled my funds. They were trying to get their property transferred into the city's name and it took a while and she pulled their funds. So I'm not sure if, we'll keep plugging along though, so.
What if you all made a motion to request that the county attorney's office prepare a deed for the recreational portion of the Lithgow Farm for that? And I will, after we get that, I need a description of that to work from. If you could authorize me to do that, I could bring it to court and you could approve that at a meeting, you have a meeting in June, and we could possibly get that done. And I can send a letter immediately tomorrow or Thursday asking about it, and then I can get back with you.
You put that forward in motion. Second. All in favor? Regina, I'll place a call to her in the morning.
Okay.
See how-
Probably need to speak with Jody.
Yeah,
Jody Williams?
yeah. Had the other,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll probably call her. All right, guys.
Do you need your paperwork for your file?
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Do you need to see anything else?
Turn it on.
Thank you. I'll copy you on my first one.
Okay.
Next thing you see is Tunnel Ridge Road, and that's in BJ District, and Lynette, I think you have something prepared.
Keenest has written 2 letters that are in your file on that. We need to have the road foreman go out and view the property. Keenest went out and saw property and was concerned about whether it would meet criteria. But that alone is not criteria, it has to be the county road
Is
foreman.
it not in our county road system?
It is.
part of the road foreman and the evaluation is whether there's a cost-benefit analysis. And,
You got a county road number on it?
Yeah, it's in my county road list.
the problem, when Mr. Maynard went up to view it in the first part of May, there were no trespassing signs on the property up there. And he was concerned that it would not meet criteria or cost-benefit analysis if there were only 2 structures for that.
Is there only 2 structures over there?
There may be 3
There's 3, I
structures,
believe, but
but
other people on the lake. Not just people living there. On the lake. I know one guy there is, lives on Oxford, he was about hill, can't get a fire truck or an ambulance across the bridge. I mean, I know it's, bridge is really bad, but you can't leave it a county road and then when the bridge is bad, it's like, well, I'm sorry, you can't. They gotta have money down somewhere.
So,
part of the criteria is a cost-benefit analysis whenever the road foreman and the disinterested parties look at it to see if we're limited on funding and it's, limited on public use.
the problem here is that they've changed all the criteria for us replacing a bridge. And a bridge that's over, what is it, 21 feet?
19 feet, nothing we can do ourselves, 20 feet above, we have to have an engineer.
I think the way I understand it is that somebody that owns property over there evidently is wanting to put up material or something.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on fall. You can't, they want to put anything over there. Take it over there. So my main concern is the ambulance, fire truck, septic tank, over there. Over there.
And I know the garbage people come and see me about having the 2 people that live over there bring it to them. Said they walk across the bridge if they bring it out to the bridge. But where it's a county road, we require the trash haulers to go along the county road. But if the bridge is not safe to travel, then we, I guess legally, you're saying we can't work on it.
I'm saying if they had no trespassing signs just beyond the bridge, that
No trespassing sign is not good.
that's,
They're not there, they're not there anymore.
after.
Take them off.
Not they're not there anymore.
I would, in the letter that's in your packet, Enos recommends that you may want to consider taking it out of the road plan, and that certainly the road foreman needs to go out and look at it and to see if it meets criteria for a public purpose.
My problem is, kind of like what BJ said, is, it's been a county road all these years, and then when the bridge gets back, we take it out.
I don't know what it will cost to fix the bridge, if it's hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Can we
I
find
don't
them
know.
over the ground? I mean,
Save that money you spend on the ball field and put it
like
in
the
the
roof
road.
down the creek where it's not 19 feet long. I mean, something,
19 feet.
he said if it's 19,
If
over
it's
19 feet, you have to
or
do it.
less, we can build the bridge ourselves based on specs from the state. If it's 20 foot or greater, you have to have an engineer and architect design the bridge. That means
It costs more to have an engineer and architect than it does to build a bridge. It really does.
We can fix it for what we pay an architect and engineer.
For me, bridge, no bridge. Gotta have another way.
Are there another way over?
well, there's a way up there where number 4 entrance used to be, but it's all the way around by the railroad tracks, and he should have to get like an easement or something from the
Railroad?
N&W.
That'd be very difficult.
I think we looked into that, I know that costs,
Because you were right on the track.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you got something to say about this subject?
Yes, sir. My name's Ronnie Hall. I own 25 house lots over there.
Yeah.
And the signs y'all talking about, my brother-in-law put the signs on the Klein's right away. The
Yeah.
county road stopped at the foot of the hill, the bank, to get up there where the house is at, what he
Yeah.
had no trusses pines on, he didn't have no signs on no county road.
Okay.
There are 3 houses over there.
There's 3 houses over there.
Yes, sir. I bought the property and I was told that it'd be a county road, and I developed that land over there. I've been 4.5 years. I still can't haul concrete or nothing over there.
Well, you can't, almost if you say drive a truck across.
Very, very true.
Um,
Your county floored it twice, put wood on it twice. As right now, the wood's not that bad, but it's bad. It's the beams. It's
It's
stinking.
bad.
Yes, sir.
It's just
Yes.
terrible. But it's like I said, I have a problem with, being there all these years, and they have a county road's not honest, and then all of a sudden, they get
I traveled that road, Peter Cave,
Yeah.
4.5 years, beside the railroad tracks.
Yeah,
Then we walked on the lower side from John Klein's house, where his wife Agnes passed away.
yeah, she
We
did.
walked that for 4.5 years to the ford of the bridge the first time.
Okay, we will,
What would fix my flat
what,
bridge?
what do you suggest that we do?
Just have Titus look at it and see what the cost benefit is.
Before we get talking, we feel,
Well, Keys went up and visited the road. I didn't see it. But there's a letter in the packet that he recommended, and I think everyone got a copy of the letter, that they should consider whether it's a county road and whether it needs to be. And that's your call. I mean, that's totally your call. I've told you what
Your Honor, sir.
concerns are.
Charlie Mills said here over a year ago, he's got the steel for it bridge.
yeah, he called me.
Okay, thank you.
He called me not too long ago, too. I would like to check and see if it's registered with the state with a CR number. Because I'm a believer if it's got a CR number on it, we work. But to use the money that Victor referred to on the bridge side, we couldn't use that money. And the money's pretty tight here. But Mr. Hall, if you check back with me in a couple of days, give me a buzz and let me see what we can find out. If we can, anything we do, it's better than what we've got.
Yes, sir.
But we'll see what we do.
Sure, thank you, thank you.
Next thing you see is flex funding. Generally, when we blacktop guys, they give us a little state money every now and then. Actually, it's once a year. And always in the past, they added the counties along with the states. The state maintenance and the county maintenance, we could always piggyback off of the state maintenance contract price. Well, I guess they said it was a mistake that they left the county part off, so we have a little money, we'll do a little blacktopping, but we're going to have to bid the blacktop for the flex funding. Can you make that motion? Authorize me to put it back.
Yes.
Got a motion, got a second? All in favor?
Yes. Can we expedite that a little bit? Maybe have a special meeting, open the bids again.
Well, me and Victor was looking at that. I got the calendar in front of me, I guess, the telephone, but what would it won't be in this week's paper, it'll be in the next week, and the next week's paper, and then anytime after that.
So we schedule a meeting 3 weeks from now, if it's not regular meeting.
Yeah, I think it's the 21st, Vic, is that right?
21st is when the bid is, they're due in the 21st at 4 o'clock. So
So,
anytime after.
anytime after that,
That's right.
so you're wanting to make sure
So
we
you
get,
like, we can do something on the Friday, the 22nd.
Or at 5 o'clock on the 21st.
Yeah.
Good get started.
are they ready to come as soon as we get this?
He called me.
Okay. Okay, motion second, and all in favor. Sheriff, you want to address the court?
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've been here before, I've asked about paying my bills. My bills aren't being paid, therefore, I don't know how I'm going to continue to operate. Just these bills here alone, some of them date back to the last time that these vendors received any payments, is as back as maybe August, September of 2017. America's Quick Mart, Wildcat March, we owe them almost $6,000, and I don't believe this is up to date. They've cut us off, we can't charge, can't hand charge. Zip Zone Express, $6,410, I think I seen something the other day, about $7,200 now, maybe more than that. My question is, are you going to pay my bills? I realize if you don't have the money, you can't pay it. But I was told by Hutch Ford that the fiscal court paid them, I believe it's right at $5,000 for the debt that they owed, that the fiscal court owed, but failed to pay the $200 and some dollars, I believe it was, that the sheriff's department owed. And I turn all my money over to you guys, all my money, to you guys. And I realize that you all just vote to pay the bills. You all vote to pay what is presented to you all. Obviously, whoever's responsible for presenting my bills isn't presenting it to you. Because I believe, if I'm correct, in February when you voted to pay the bills, if my memory is correct, you voted to pay about $300,000 to $350,000 in bills and debt. I think it was $15,000 of that was mine. And I'm not trying to be mean or I'm not trying to cause confusion. I'm not trying to fight. But I cannot operate. I'm going to have to shut my office down as we know it if my bills aren't paid.
It's what they want.
I have been told since I've been in office by Donna Callahan that we are broke. I have no money. I collect taxes. I collect fees. I turn all my fees over to the fiscal court to pay my bills. You guys committed to pay, I think somewhere around $250,000. Is that correct, Virginia?
Yeah,
I mean,
including with
that's in
raises.
your own budget. Y'all say that you're going to give this to me. I realize if you don't have it, you can't give it to me. But I have asked Judge Callahan and Donna to sit down with Linda and Donna, and as the treasurer. If somebody will sit down with me and say, John, there is zero money because we're not giving you what we allotted to give you, then I will make the necessary cuts. I don't want to be like the water department and be $800,000 in debt, okay? I don't want to do that. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. I don't expect money to fall out of the sky. I mean, if there's no money there, just sit down with me. That's all I ask. I work for the people. I work for these people, guys.
You do a good job too, Herman.
That's a good job.
Money's there, just get it out of them,
We're
or
going
you
to, we're going to raise your allotment that we give you. We're going to repeal the fee pooling ordinance. We're going to raise the money we're giving you. We ain't going to cut you. We're going to raise you. There's certain, when you say we paid Hutch Ford, Regina knows this, that's our road fund. Our road fund is in good shape and completely restricted. So,
But you can also pay 19% of the deputy salaries with road fund money.
that's allocation, you know that.
It's an allocation that you can change your appropriation in the budget. It's legal for you to pay road deputies out of the road fund.
We I don't know.
Pull a copy of the budget, you'll see everybody else's, your salary is funded 19%, every one of your all salaries is funded 19% of the road fund. Look at the sheriff's.
The problem we've got is cash flow. You know, you've got about $40,000 worth of bills. We're gonna take care of those bills. I don't know how, but we're gonna take care of it before we people you. I mean, before we unpeople you. There's 86 counties in the state of Kentucky, as of today, are not people. And the reason they're not people is because come the first of the year, you can borrow money to take care of you for the rest of the year. And we don't, when we're people, we're not accustomed to that. We can't do that. We know that. But like I say, when you know, I know the appropriation's there, but if the money's not, if the cash is not there, we can't pay the check. You know, we got different funds and different funds are restricted. And we do our best, John. And
So when you say you're going to raise his allotment, what does that mean exactly?
what now?
When you say you're going to raise his allotment, what does that mean exactly?
Well, you told me the last meeting that we give you anywhere from $90,000 to $130,000, you know, cold hard cash.
No, you don't give us any cash.
Huh?
You don't give us any cash.
Well, how do you make it then?
You do not give the sheriff's office any cash. You might fund that
We
on our
fund it,
behalf.
and
Right,
it's the same thing.
no, it's not. Giving me cash is different than you paying those bills. That's two different things.
Well, we're going to get the cash.
You can't do that. That's illegal.
Well, we'll see.
You can pay claims on his behalf.
But if you,
According to Robert O. Brown at the DLG, you're allowed to pay claims on his behalf. However, you cannot just write him a check for cash.
if we're not fee pooling, we can give you guys allotment to you. And we're raising that allotment so far. We're at $150,000. We're going to raise that allotment and then keep paying like the insurance is $70,000.
Okay, so you're going to pay those claims out of that allotment, is that what you're saying to me?
No. This is July 1st and above. That's going to be, we're going to turn everything back over to you guys. You're going to be able to pay the bills. You know, we've got a cash flow problem. You all have a means to take care of a cash flow problem.
Not until the end of the year.
Well, you're going to get money, you're going to get $150,000. Our budget's really tight, and we're cutting every place that we can see to cut.
I'm sorry.
They can't help the truth ain't in them.
But we're going to give you more money. You're going to have the leeway to spend it any way you want. You know, you got to go by your budget, John. And I'll tell you this. You're not going to agree with this. But this is my 5th term. Darrell Mills is 5%.
It's your last.
You, as a sheriff, has got more stuff from the Fiscal Court than any sheriff in history.
What? I've got 3 cars.
Well, that's one more than most others.
Let me tell you, the sheriff's department is the most important job in this county.
I've got 3 cars. I've got 3 cars. It took me 2.5 years to get them. The cost was like $107,000. We got a grant, I believe, for $50,000. We wrecked the car, totaled it. I didn't get the money out of those. All the cars that's been wrecked and totaled, I've gotten no money out of them. You kept it. So you used that money towards it, which was what we discussed. When you had that discussion, that money would go towards that. And I mean, I really haven't asked for anything other than just pay my bills. That's all I've ever asked for.
We're going to take care of the bills.
But it's you understand that I can't ask for a state advancement right now because it's too late to ask for that.
The first year.
We have to do it in the first year. December, I believe it is, Virginia.
Yeah, you start the paperwork
So,
in November, December.
Well, let me ask you.
We may or may not be able to operate on what, I mean, if I don't know what you're saying, because like I said, I've been told by Donna that the sheriff's office has no money. No money, none.
How much is the balance now, Linda? Linda in here?
I can provide that to to you. I don't have it with me.
Okay.
They wouldn't even let you get oil tank change yesterday, would they?
Well,
They wouldn't even let you get oil change.
right, I tried to get a PO. We're supposed to operate through the PO system. In other words, everything I buy, I have to call and get a purchase order for it. When we call, most of the time we can't get an answer because there's nobody there. We called yesterday, I was way past doing oil change on my cruiser, and I was told that, we were told by Donna, that y'all weren't issuing any POs for us. If I don't get the oil change, it was my warranty on my cruiser. And like I said,
We're going
if you guys will give me the money to operate, one of our big things is our taxing districts never, ever set their tax rate on time. So therefore, we never get our taxes out on time. Okay? I'm not the ones that's responsible for that. It's the taxing districts. If everybody would get on the same page, set their rate, and we get it out on time, we can start collecting taxes in November, December like everybody else does. But if I have to do a state advancement, which is I will have to do if we quit fee pooling, then that means I have to have that state advancement paid back by the 15th of January every year. Is that correct, Regina? When I pay that back, if I haven't started collecting taxes until January, I have no money to pay them back.
Well, you know the biggest culprit on that, right? Not saying who it is, but me and you both know. But yeah, that is something we need to work on. We need to send the taxes out October 1st every year, bar nothing. And just sometimes that.
You see how turn the cameras back just Hey, your camera guy, turn back towards the crowd here and get a picture of the people. No, sir.
That you'll need to establish what the 18 taxes right now. I think Bobby has to send something all.
That's called quietus.
Everybody's going to walk up front and show them the time.
I know
Here's your time.
the year is,
There was a bill before the legislature that would require fiscal court approval for special districts, but I don't know if it passed or not. Seems like there should have been a deadline in that bill if it had passed. I don't know.
see, we had that one year there that the school board wouldn't second that. You remember that? So it went so long that the state and, they didn't hurt nobody but all the state, county, the whole 9 yards.
So how much money are you gonna give the sheriff from now until first year?
It's budgeted for $150,000 for our fiscal year. In no time, it's good to people.
How much have you spent?
I'm talking spent. It's no time good if because you're on a calendar year and we're on this. There ain't no time good. The best time for us is now, best time to use first of the year. And I don't know why that is, that's just the way it's been ever since I've been here. But I think, and we can, if we can find the cash, we can pay you a monthly allotment, or we can pay you all the way up till you get your state advancement. We'll be much better off. But, the disrespect to everybody here, the fiscal court should be sure across this state. It should be. But you want to get on Facebook and your guys and you want to trash everybody here, disrespect everybody. I don't vote for that stuff.
Respect is given when it's earned, Kelly.
He works for his money.
Nobody's trashing.
Here's the deal. I have for 3.5 years, I've been told by your wife that I have no money. If I'm told I have no money, then that means I've got to keep my expenses low. That means Garmin Priest operated with 6 paid deputies. I've never had 6 paid deputies.
Donald York's got it recorded where John.
Never had 6 paid deputies. I have 2 paid deputies right now. Okay, hold on, I'm talking now. This might happen. This might happen.
Get him, Herman.
You talk for 20 years. It's my turn to talk about it.
Respect.
But here's the deal. I have had respect. I have come to you, and I have sat down with you and Donna and asked to meet with Linda because she says that it's up to Linda. Okay, I've asked for those meetings, you promised me those meetings, but yet you never schedule those meetings, okay? My wife volunteers her time. She works a full-time job in Huntington, West Virginia, and volunteers her services to the sheriff's office at no cost to the taxpayers, saving them a lot of money. Donna Callahan and Linda work for the taxpayers. We pay them. I think it's not too much to ask for them to sit down after 6 p.m. when my wife gets home with my wife and discuss, John, we're not going to pay this. John, this is what you owe. I've asked for this. You know, we were asked, I have asked, my office has asked Donna for a printout every month, once a month, showing where we're at in our budget. She said in a perfect world, that would be possible. Evidently, my wife lives in a perfect world. She's an accountant. If corporate headquarters calls her and asks her today how much she spent on toilet paper for this month or for this year, she can tell her. It's called accounting. It's called coming to work every single day, working your 8 hours. I have sat back and kept my mouth shut and come to you. If you remember, when I was elected, before I took office, you called me into your office and said, are we going to fight for 4 years, or what are we going to do? And I said, I would leave that up to you. I've kept my mouth shut. I told you I wouldn't come to a fiscal court meeting and put anybody on the spot, that I would come to you first. But if I didn't get results, I would address the court. That's what I've done. Amen. Listen, these people are not mushrooms, okay? I'm not going to keep them in the dark and feed them whole. They've been fed long enough.
Amen.
Amen. You guys, and so does every one of these people up here.
That's right.
We work for you all. I want to keep you all in line with what's going on. I will go on Facebook, and if you're not doing what you say you're going to do, then I'll call you out.
There you go. That's right.
I called him out in a nice way. He got offensive. He went to the newspaper. He said, I expect money to fall out of the sky. I expect that I need to work within my budget. Look at my budget. Look at the paperwork they've submitted every year to the state. I've been within my budget.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if I'm correct, the very first year, I had $75,000 left over
In the appropriations, yes.
in the appropriations. That's their words, okay? That's what they turned over to the state. That's what they said to the state that I had left over.
Did you get to keep that, John?
Oh, no, I didn't keep that.
Just ask.
And Regina told me, like I said, she's a CPA, okay? She's a whole lot smarter than I am when it comes to money. But she told me, she said, if you don't spend your money that's in your budget, they'll see you can make it without it next year, and they'll cut you. The very next year, I spent $60,000.
That's right.
Now, where'd that $60,000 go? Look here.
Probably make payroll.
Y'all remember just a few years ago when we sold the after-hours clinic? Something like that?
Yeah.
In the minutes, it said the sheriff's office was getting $400-some-thousand. They get nothing.
Where'd it go?
Where's that?
Go.
I mean, I'd like to see what, I'm sure they paid my bills, okay? I'm sure they paid my bills.
There wasn't no $400,000.
Well, that was my part. They said that. That's in the minutes. That's in the minutes that I was getting $400-some-thousand for the sheriff's department. I guess that was to pay outstanding debt. You were supposed to pay the debt in the budget year that you created that jail. And there's never a true figure when you carry over expenses from one year to the next, which you cannot do. You're not supposed to not do that. But like I said, I have kept my mouth shut, but I am not going to let you or anybody else say that I expect money to fall out of the sky, because I don't. If there's no money there, I understand you can't spend it. But all I've asked is to sit down with the people who are the bean counters, who are the money counters, and explain to me, and if I have to lay off all my employees, if I have to work it myself, I'll work it. I'm elected to do the job. But you know what?
That's all family members.
Why should I shut my office down and lay off all my employees when we're hiring Parks and Recreation? We have people working Parks and Recreation that were on the payroll all winter long. They wouldn't cut no parks.
Did you have a permit doing that?
I had program, community service program that cut the parks for 2 years. You all budget $225,000 a year for park recreation. I'm sure that that's major expense in park recreation is maintenance. We did the maintenance for you. All you had to do was buy a lawnmower, furnace weed eaters, gas and oil. You know, didn't have to pay no labor. We did. I think I've acted in good faith. I realize.
They don't have a heart. They don't have a conscience.
I realize
They don't care.
I realize I wasn't your choice for sheriff, okay? But I told you that day that you asked me if we were going to fight for 4 years, that I worked for the people, and I'd answer to the people, and I would run my office, and let you run yours. I have tried to run my office, but it hasn't worked out that way. You all had to have a key to, when this new courthouse was built, guys, they had a key to my office. I didn't have a key to their office.
And to the
What
evidence.
about cost $10 million, what happened to the other million?
I didn't have a key to their office. I didn't want to keep their office, okay?
And to the evidence.
Do you know how many indictments that the sheriff's office has laid down this year already? Sheriff's office has indicted 56 indictments. 98% of them, that's in the month of April, 96% of them are drug-related indictments. In 2013, the whole calendar year, there was 69 indictments. In 2017, the sheriff's office alone indicted 144 different people. It's 144 indictments landed down, 95% of them drug-related. So tell me he's not doing his job.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the newspaper was just saying that it was my job to collect taxes and pay the courthouse. And it is, okay? That's my statutory job. I have to do that. At any given time, there is no state police available in this county. There's a lot of times there's only one state trooper working 3 counties. That's McGoffin, Johnson, and Martin. If you have a call at the Pike County line, it would take an hour and a half for them to get here from the Breathitt County line to McGoffin County. If that's what you all want, then stay quiet, don't put any pressure on your magistrates, and that's what you get.
Let the thieves
Because I
break
don't
in
have
their
no
house.
choice. If I don't have the money to operate on, and like I said, I just want my bills paid. I want to be able, I think we budgeted for five deputies. I've never had 5 deputies, okay? Never, because I'm told I don't have any money. I'm never told where I'm at in my budget. So if you're told you don't have no money, then you don't go spend all the money, okay? And, you know, I tried to last year. We tried to up our budget on paper only, guys, paper only. I don't know what you all were told, okay? You all may be mushrooms too. Maybe they keep you in the dark and feed you bull. I don't know. But I can tell you this. We tried to up my budget. The magistrates, the fiscal court controls the deputies' salaries. You all control what the maximum is. In other words, you set it, I think, at 180. That's what it's been, okay? I tried to up it to 146.
246.
246. Tried to up it to 246. I sat down with Kelly and explained that this is just on paper only. The taxpayers would not be out only but about somewhere, I believe it was roughly around $15,000. And the reason we upped this so that we could provide court security officers, which every county has. We were one of the only counties not to have court security officers when I took office. These same judges that work right over here, work in Orange County and Johnson County, and they had security there, but had none here unless the sheriff took his deputy off the road, which Garman did. Garman would have to work court. He'd have to pull his road deputy off the road to work court because he has to bail court, okay? I tried, I acted in good faith. We went to AOC, which governs this, which appropriates the money for court security officers. They were going to reimburse us $9 an hour. As sheriff, if I go over and bailiff court, I bill for it, they give me $9 an hour, okay? If I send a deputy over to bailiff court, it has to be a certified deputy, I get reimbursed $9 an hour. What I did is I got with AOC and they agreed to allot the money for 7 part-time court security officers, or I could use 2 part-time positions to make 1 full-time. So So that's where we come in to open this budget, okay? Wasn't gonna cost the taxpayers, this month we were getting reimbursed $9 an hour. Pay for security officers $10 an hour, okay? All we were gonna get out is that $1 an hour and the fringe benefits. Fringe benefits being unemployment taxes, workers' comp, those sort of things. Where can anybody create 4 jobs, put that money into the local economy, and only cost people $15,000 a year? That's a no-brainer, okay? But our fiscal court, at somebody's direction, throwed that $66,000 out the door. They told me it's from the state. I believe for 1 second. Don't believe for 1 second that the state is going to kick that out. If somebody tried to justify to them that this was actually not money, that this was this figure, we're getting this money reimbursed to us. But like I said, I have to provide security for the court. So therefore, that money there will just have to go there, but we get reimbursed for it. Like I said, but the reason we can't afford 6 paid deputies, as the other sheriff had, is because somebody convinced all of fiscal court to say, we're going to cut this. I think y'all ought to know, guys. You ought to know. You're taxpayers. You're taxpayers. I shouldn't lie to you.
Yeah, I pay a whole lot of tax.
That's it, my 2 cents.
Okay, we all pay taxes.
When I talked to you a couple months ago, did I tell you bring me some information on that, and I would try to help you the best I could on that?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yep.
You sure did. Like I said, it is simply, we can't sit down, we want to meet.
I'm just saying, you know, I told you that.
One vote ain't gonna help.
I think it would be great, but I mean, I never heard from you again. The old thing, I think you do a great job.
Appreciate it.
But, you know, I did reach out to you, try to help you.
It's a group effort. It's a group effort. This is a county effort.
It's,
Anything that's
but I just want to know what I need to tell my vendors when they call. I need an idea of when we're going to pay.
We'll back in the pay by
By the 1st of July. All right. Appreciate it.
Maybe we get the police car paid.
on the agenda, we'll read the ordinance. An ordinance of the Martin County Fiscal Court repealing the speed limit ordinance June 28th of 2007. Where the speed limit ordinance between the Martin County Fiscal Court and Martin County Sheriff's Office, which was passed on June 28th, 2007, recorded in the records of the Martin County Fiscal Court clerks in the fiscal order book 26, page 197. Fiscal Court book 26, page 221 is hereby repealed. The ordinance shall take effect in full force and after its passage publication according to law. Presented for the first reading on June 5th, 2010.
Do you want people?
What's that?
Do you want people, or do you not?
I would rather not people, but at this time here, this is not the time of the year to put people because of the money, unless you are going to put money in there that would equal.
I just want to know yeah or no. Did you not? Did you want or not?
What are you gonna do when you get rid of sheriff's department? Somebody comes to my house, I'm gonna shoot some bitch. I think y'all first reading, he's telling me to 3 times.
I'll say thieves break in your old houses.
Hey, BJ, the answer to that question is, it would be best for the sheriff's department to do it as of January the 1st. Because we operate on calendar year, you operate on fiscal year. Every year at the sheriff's convention, it is discussed about going with a fiscal year, just like the fiscal court is. But there's 3 or 4 sheriffs that have been sheriffs for many years that's got a lot of clout that will not agree with it. So therefore, they never get a vote on it.
Okay, we'll move on. The water, it said bid opening project, the bids has already been opened by the engineer. This is a school project at the high school. You all have copies of what it is. The one good thing about this bid is in the money. We've got the money to do this. The only thing we're waiting on is checking their insurance, see if they're bonded, and then we will be accepting to the date, but it'll probably be sooner than later because we got like 3 questions on the tank guy and 2 questions on the line guy. And we'll get those back in a short time. And I think the division of water has 1 question, and the Corps of Engineers has 2. And I'm sure that's about enough. So we're doing another court meeting on that. So we had to accept and sign a contract with both contractors before we can move forward. The last thing, motion for cash transfer and appropriation transfer. I don't know if they are appropriation transfer. Motion for cash and appropriation transfer. Second. All in favor? The motion pays bills. Second. All in favor? Motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor?